Okay, I'm going to talk you through how I answered these questions, okay? Just make sure you're okay with it. Find the reciprocal of this. Now, first of all, can you see bod mass in here? So let's get this fixed. 28 divided by 7 is a 4. 4 add 4 is 16. Sorry, 4 add 4 is 8. 8 squared is 64. Then do your power first. 4 squared is 16 times 2 is 32. So that sum comes down to 64 divided by 32, which is 2. Remember the question wants the reciprocal. So reciprocal is 1 over 2. Remember reciprocal is 1 over. Find the highest common factor and lowest common multiple of these two numbers. So do your splitting down. You divide by the smallest number that goes in evenly to each of them. For highest common factor, you're doing the pairs. That 2 matches. There's a 3 matching and another 3 matching. So 2 3s match and a 2 matches. And that gives you 18. For lowest common multiple, you must write out the multiples. So it's 2 times 3 cubed. 2 cubed times 3 squared. And remember you choose the highest one. So 2 or 2 3, it's a 2 3. 3 3 or 3 2, it's a 3 3. So 8 times, and that's 27, 216. Now, it's quite a clever wee question here. They give you X, Y, and Z. Basically, this is all split down into the highest common, or into the prime factors, like that there line. So you don't have to do the divisions here. Now, lowest common multiple. So you include each number to the highest power. So you've got 2 8, 2 5, or 2 6. Choose a 2 8. Okay, what other numbers do we have? We have a 5. 5 3 or 5 2. 5 3. And in our numbers, the 7. And you just work that out. 2 to the 8 is 256. 5 3 is 125 times 7. And that's your answer. Find the highest common factor. Now, if you could imagine, this one here's got 8 2's. This one's got 5 2's and then 3 5's. You know, going down the division. This one would have 6 2's, 2 5's and a 7. So what's common across all the lines? I'm trying to do this here, pairing this up across all the lines. So I have got 8 2's, 5 2's, or 6 2's. But I've got 5 2's in every number. So the highest common factor is 2 to the power 5 or 32. If you're not getting that, don't worry too much about that one. Okay, it's a hard one. This one here I like. A bus stop has 2 routes. Bus A passes a stop every 25 minutes and bus B every 40. If they both are at the same bus stop at 9:15, when are they next at the bus stop together? That's lowest common multiple. Those are a few key words. So if I would see that next and together, I would know it's lowest common multiple. Because quite often they give you wee stories like this rather than saying find the lowest common multiple. So let's do the lowest common multiple between 25 and 40. So do your wee splitting down. I remember it's a multiple one, so multiply them, 5 2. Split this one down. 2 3 times 5. Now, lowest common multiple, include each number to the highest power. So 2 3 gets included, and the 5 2. Works out to be 200 minutes, which is 3 hours and 20 minutes. Now, the bus left at 9:15. So 9:15 adds 3 hours and 20 minutes. They're next together at 12:35. This one is quite a cool one. I love these wee questions because it looks like double Dutch. Use prime factorisation. What on earth does that mean? That just means, do your wee prime numbers on the side and find the factors. So 2 goes in, 2 goes in, then it's a 3 didn't go in. I must admit, I cheated, I used my calculator here. So 3 didn't go in, so try 5, it doesn't go in, then try 7, so it did go in. That's why I have no wee carries over there. Can you notice that? I was cheating. So divide by 7 and then just kept dividing by 7 to see what happened. Now, when I wrote that out, I had 2 2 times 7 4. I thought, right, I'm doing quite clever here. The question wants the square root of that. So what I did, I square rooted that. So I wrote square root of 2 squared is a 2. Instead of writing 7 4, I wrote that as 7 2 times 7 2. The square root of 7 2 is a 7. The square root of 7 2 is a 7. So it became 2 times 7 times 7, 98. Again, if you don't get that final bit, don't worry too much. Okay, on to this next wee bit. Calculate as wee division. So remember you can't divide by a decimal. So move your decimal point twice. Move it twice. So it becomes 295.2 divided by 12. I don't like dividing by 12. I find it hard. So what I did was I took the number, divided it by 2 and then divided it by 6. And that's you. Finished. 0.2 cubed. Do that 3 times. Remember how to do the decimal multiplication? Pretend the decimal's not there. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. And then look, you've got 1, 2, 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. Decimal point goes at the end. Not point, not 8. And this one here, look at this one. I want to divide by this, so I have to move this 3 times. So I've got to move this 3 times. Then I'm left with gaps. And you fill them in with zeros. And if you do that, you should get 100 divided by 8. Again, I was being really lazy here. 100 divided by 4 is 25. Divided by 2 is 12.5. So those wee tricks make life a lot easier. Right, what's going on in this one? Well, let's fix all these fractions first. 4 times 6 is 24, add 1, 25 over 6 minus 5 over 3 over 5 over 2. So do the top line first. Make the bottoms the same. Make that one a 6 by doubling it. So you have 25 over 6 minus 10 over 6, which is 15 over 6. Divide it by the bottom line. And remember how to divide? You turn the one after the division sign upside down. And then you do your cancelling. And the whole thing should come down to a 1. Part E, I like this one because that's 5 over 1, if you remember that. Times 13 over 10. And then just cancel top and bottom. 13 over 2 and try to break it down. 2 goes into that 6 times remainder 1. Okay. And this one here. So BODMAS, that's 3. 15 take away 3 is 12. Bottom line, remember do the multiplying bit first. 4 add 8 is 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So just watch BODMAS in this one. It's very tempting just to add these fractions at the beginning. So what you have to do is make them top heavy. 3 times 4, add 1. 2 times 2, add 1. And then do your division first. So turn that one upside down. So I'm concentrating over here. Cancel it down. Then multiply the tops and multiply the bottoms. So this here, 13 over 4, just sat there. Make the bottoms the same. They both go into 12. Times this one by 3, times this one by 4. Add the tops. And if you can break it down and see what's left over. Number 8 is rounding. 1 decimal place is there. The 9 tells you to round up, so it becomes 1.0. One significant figure starts here at the 9. The 6 tells you to round up, so it becomes 1.0. So it's the same, or just 1. 2 decimal places start 1, 2. 8 tells you to go up. So the rest of this doesn't change. 5732.98. 2 significant figures here and here. The 3 tells you to do nothing, so that's 57. But you see these 2 gaps now I've got for the decimal point, put zeros in there. So it's 5700. 2 decimal places, this one's quite a cool one. Decimal point, 1, 2. This 0 tells you to do nothing, 0.00. That's your answer. The same number to 2 significant figures, right? So we start counting down here this time. 1, 2. The 9 tells you to go up 1. So it's 0.00069. Okay, number bounds. Rounded to, there's my key word. I know it's number bounds. Okay, to 1 decimal place. A triangle is height 3.2. So I go straight down here. 3.2, 3.3, 3.1, halfway, 3.15, 3.25. Those are the figures I'm going to be using. And it has an area of 5.2. So 5.2, 5.3, 5.1, cut-offs, 5.15, 5.25. Now, I labelled this height and I labelled this area so we could find them. Now, the question then is saying, what range of heights does the base lie in? Okay, this is complicated now. How do you find the area of a triangle? It's base times height divided by 2. I want to find the base. So bring this 2 across and multiply, and bring this height across and divide. So the base is 2 times the area divided by the height. So what's the biggest base going to be? It's going to be 2 times big A divided by small h. So 2 times big A divided by small h gives you that answer. And what's the minimum value the base could be? What's the smallest this could be? 2 times the small a divided by, 2 times the small a is there, isn't it? Divided by the big B. And then I've just written it a wee bit neater there. So B is between those 2 values. When you're saying B is between values, just make sure the arrows point down the way. Here's another one like this. See the key word I've circled? Correct 2. So 736, 737, 735. Cut-offs and your 2 cut-offs. And that was the distance, so I wrote distance there. Time, again correct 2, the nearest. 4.5. So 4.6, 4.4, cut off, cut off. What is the minimum speed? Well, how do you find speed? Speed is distance over time. I want this to be as small as possible. So the smallest distance, that one there, over the biggest time will get you your minimum speed. Okay, another couple to go. After an 8% pay rise, Mr. Brown's salary was this. What was his salary before? See that keyword there, before. Backwards percentages. So he got 8% extra, so he's now 108%, and that was his wages. You to find 1% by dividing by 108, then find 100% by timesing. Number 12. Now I haven't this in the bubble diagrams, but I want to go over it now with you. Which is better interest when investing? 8,500 for 3 years. Bank A, which does 1.7 simple interest. Now for simple interest, you work it out for 1 year, as we're doing it there, and times it by 3 years, because you get 3 years. And the amount that he has in his account, you 8,500, add on his interest, that's what he now has in the bank. That was Bank A. Bank B does 1.65% compound interest. Compounds when you're adding it on all the time. So, the quickest way, and I would usually use this way, you can work out year 1, add it on, work out year 2, add it on, work out year 3 and add it on. But I would usually make a mistake if I was doing that. So what I do is I use the quick formula. His interest is 1.65. So in his bank, he's going to have 101.65%. You write that to the power of the number of years times what he initially put in. Remember, put that into a decimal, you divide by 100. So it's 1.0165 to the power of 3 times 8500. So that's, I don't have that in the bubble diagram, but hopefully you can follow what I'm doing there. So which one's better? Bank B has got that amount. Bank A has got that amount. Bank A is better. Okay. Number 13, what's going on here now? Jane has an annual salary. It's another really hard question. Yeah, to do with tax is quite hard. So she earns £45,000 before tax. It's quite a lot of money. Her tax allowance is £10,000. Now what that means is she's not taxed on that amount of money. So let's say, for instance, somebody else, their salary was £10,000. They'd pay no tax. So she's allowed to earn £10,000 before paying tax. So that means she only pays tax on £35,000. Okay? So she pays 20% tax on any income between 10,000 and 41,865 and 40% on the rest. Okay, that is really complicated. So let me show you. So over here, that's what she's taxed on. Okay? Now, her tax is split up into, you see in here, so she earns £35,000. Oh, sorry, she is taxed on £35,000. She pays 20% tax on that because her taxable income is only £35,000, so she's not over that. So she doesn't have to worry about this 40%. She only pays 20% on the 35,000. You work it out. So you're not worrying about the higher tax. But this question's a wee bit complicated. If you're not getting it, again, don't be too concerned about it. But the question wants to know what percentage of her annual salary does she pay in tax. So that's writing it as a percentage. So you've got to write it as a fraction first. So it's her tax, which is 7,000, out of her total salary, times 100. Now that question's hard. If you're not getting that, don't worry at all about that. Part B. Now, this is a complicated one, so we'll see how we get on. John earns this. He earns a lot more money, doesn't he? Now, remember, he gets £10,000 tax-free, so he only pays tax on that. Now, here is a problem. He is over that value. So he pays 20% up to this value and then 40% on anything over it. So there's a very important number. So he pays 20% up to that value. And you see the way he's got 52,500. He has to pay 40% on the remainder. So you take what he's taxed on as his taxable income, take away the bit he's already paid the tax on, and that's what he's charged 40% on. So he's paid 40% tax on this amount of money. and he pays 20% tax on that bit. So basically they're taking his taxable income and splitting it into two bits because he earns so much. Working out this tax, and adding them together. Find it a month, divide by 12. If you're not following these tax questions, don't be too worried about them because these are very, very tricky. And this is our last question, I think. Yeah. A shopkeeper buys apples that per crate of 24. Okay. He sells them for 24 pence each. What's his percentage profit? Okay, so each apple is 24 and he's got 24 of them to sell. So 24 times 24, he's selling them for 5.76. That's what he's selling them for. He paid 4.32 for them. So his profit is a difference in those. Okay, how do you find percentage profit? It's a change over the original times 100. So the change is 144. It originally cost him 4.32 times 100.